Those 2-3 months without hormones were probably the hardest that I have experienced in a long time. Probably because I knew what I was missing.
It's an anxious time for Annika Gibson of Louisville, following a case now in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court. It could change the lives of tens of thousands of transgender kids living in states where gender-affirming treatment is illegal. Kentucky is one of those states. What rides on this Supreme Court decision whenever it comes down?
If this case goes poorly, then, like I said, there is the chance that it will open the door to further laws that will criminalize our care.
The scene in Washington, D.C. as the High Court weighs whether bans on treatments like hormone therapy and puberty blockers for trans youth is constitutional. The ACLU of Kentucky traveling to speak. So did Nick Spencer, the director of policy for the Lexington-based Family Foundation.
This case is all about protecting the innocence and the bodily integrity of children, preventing them from making a life-altering, irreversible decision when they're young.
This was the place that I first held a protest.
Kentucky is one of more than 20 states with a ban in place. Senate Bill 150 becoming law in spring of 2023, when Annika Gibson was still a minor. She tells me lives are at stake.
I've been lucky. I haven't lost anyone, but I know people who have. And it's just indescribable.
In a statement, Kentucky Senator Lindsey Titchener, one of the Republican co-sponsors of SB 150, telling me, quote, "A favorable ruling will affirm the ability to reasonably regulate dangerous and experimental medical procedures and safeguard children from irreversible decisions before the age of consent." But if the Supreme Court strikes down the ban in Tennessee, the one being challenged, it could overturn Kentucky's ban too. Right now, the New York Times reports justices appear to be leaning toward upholding Tennessee's law.
Hope for the best, hope that everything's going to be okay, but prepare for the worst, because, when our health care is on the line, we do die.
So it was 2023 when Kentucky passed its ban, the Republicans in Frankfort. I remember they put into place an order to the school boards to pass a policy regarding bathroom use, locker rooms, showers. Where does that stand with all this being tied up in the courts?
Well, Doug, Connie, that's why this case matters so much, because if the Supreme Court specifically upholds Tennessee's law, it could have those kind of broader implications on sports participation, bathroom use. We can even talk about whether insurance can cover gender transition policies in certain states. There's challenges, not just in Kentucky, across the country. And if the Supreme Court rules a certain way, their opinion could essentially decide a lot of those challenges.
Okay. We're going to hear a lot about it.
And they don't rule again until the end of June, usually, before they go off to summer.
June is about when we're expecting this ruling, yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.